Abstract Mathematics. Today, we will study the compound statements, conjunctions, and disjunctions. The conjunction of P and Q, written as P union. This is called union, right? P and Q. This is P and Q, is the statement both P and Q are true. The disjunction of P and Q, written as P or, this is or, so this one and this one is or. P or Q is the statement P is true or Q is true. So if we explain these rules by examples, for example, if we take the first example, P, if P is the event or the statement 7 less than 5. So this one is false. It is not correct, incorrect. And this one, 3 minus 2 equals 1. This is true. Okay, now here P is false and Q is true. So P and Q is false. Why? Because we say P and Q, they must be both true in order to be for the result to be true. Now, as long as P is false, Q is true, then P and Q is false. And since Q is true, P or Q is true. So here, at least one of the event is correct, it will be true. Here, both of them must be true. So as long as not both of them, this is false. So false and true, the result is false. Here, if with or, at least one is true will be enough. Okay, go to another example. P, the event is, the Red Sox have won a World Series since World War I ended. Q, if Scott Fitzgerald wrote for whom the bell tolls. Okay, now both P and Q are false. So P and Q and P or Q, both of them will be false. Now we can generalize these results as we go through the truth table. This explains the last example, but this is called the truth table. So if P is T, true, F. So if P is T and Q is T, the result P and Q is T. If P is T, Q is F, the result is F. The same thing here. So you can see here, the only true one is when both of them is true. It is only this case. If it is and the result is true only for both of them are true. Comes to P or Q. If we come to this, T, F, you see, the only false is when both of them are false. Now I think is quite clear if we apply the results from the truth table to these examples. So if we apply the table here, it will be apparent why we said, for example, P and Q is true. Okay? Now we will have More examples.